Yo, what's up everyone, and welcome to this channel slash guide. Before we jump into this Windwalker Monk guide, I would like to say something first. I don't make videos with voice that much. I've probably made like 2 or 3, I don't know. So I'll just answer a few questions before continuing with this video. Yes, I am Danish, and yes, I have a very Danish accent. I know this. So with that being said, I would kindly ask you to not write this in the comment section, since it doesn't bring any use to this guide or to me for that matter. Thank you very much, and let's jump into this guide. What is up guys, Mocca here. I hope you all had a great first week with Dragonflight. I've had a blast so far. So, I've got 2 talent builds for you. The guide is mainly gonna be around the first build that I'm gonna showcase. It's the Bonedust Brew build. Then I also have a Faeline Stomp build with more blackout kick damage, which is more sustained damage. But the guide is mainly gonna be around the Bonedust Brew build. So, first of all, I would just like to say that I have no idea if this is the best PvP build out there for Windwalker monks, because I know there are some pretty good monks out there with way more experience than me that makes YouTube content on these classes every day, like Vendruki for example. This is just my personal opinion on somewhat good slash fun build. As I said, I've played with it since launch, and it does have the ability to like 1-shot or 2-shot basically, right? But let's continue with the guide. Alright, let's go over the monk class specific abilities here on the left side. I'm not gonna talk much about this side because I think it's a pretty standard side. This right side is like pretty much non-changeable, I think. I do believe that this is pretty much your go-to talents. I do believe that you can change out something like Resonant Fist. I've just been using this mostly in BGs because it actually does damage. It does a lot of damage sometimes. But I do believe that you can go out of this into Soothing Mist and then improve roll or like extra XP harm healing for more self-healing. I think that is pretty good. Maybe you could, if you're not fighting some heavy hitters, you could go out of Dampen Harm, maybe like 1 close to hard, and go into Tiger Tail Sweep for the extra yard range and the reduced cooldown. But again, I think this is pretty standard. I do think that you probably swap out this Resonant Fist in arenas if you are not break, if you don't have like a class that does some CC you can break, right? But other than that, I think this is pretty standard, and I'm not gonna talk much about that. I will also be linking this thingy to the description, so you guys can just copy it right over, right? All right, let's go over to the right side. So the Windwalker specific abilities. I don't think there is a lot to say here, because if I had to go through every single one and why I picked it, this video would be 1 hour long. I will just quickly say that you basically just take things that buff your 1-shot, and we will be mainly focusing around Bonedust Brew, Strike of the Windlord, and Skyreach. This is what enables the 1-shot. Of course, Storm, Earth, and Fire is there too, but yeah. If there's anything you could swap out, I would probably, I don't know, I really like the haste from Swen, but you could probably go Transfer the Power. I really want this talent, but I just don't have anything to go out of. But yeah, you could probably go this. I haven't tested Serenity. I do believe that it's not that great because yeah, it's just easily kiteable or CCable. I guess Storm, Earth, and Fire is easily CCable or kiteable as well, but it's still 2 charges, right? You don't have 2 charges of Serenity. So just, I think the safe pick is just go for Storm, Earth, and Fire. But again, that's what I love about these new talents. You can go whatever you want to go. If you want to go something else, you think it's more fun, then you can just do that, right? If you want more Spinning Crane Kick with the Bonedust Brew, like it was in Shadowlands, you can just go more damage in Spinning Crane Kick, of course, right? So that's the fun part. But again, I will just be linking this talent build in the description, so you can just copy it into your own game, and yeah, you can just swap out what you want to swap out, right? Now for the PvP talents, I do believe that this is your standard PvP talent, and I think you play these talents like 8 or 9 out of 10 games. You want to go Alpha Tiger, Turbo Fist, and Reverse Harm. Alpha Tiger you can swap out, or probably won't want to swap out for when you're fighting melees. You're gonna want to go Grapple Weapon. You could also go Ride the Wind against something like Frost Mage's Logs. This just creates a line of wind when you flying Serpent Kick that your teammate can ride as well, and you gain movement speed, and it clears just all slow effects on you. So you can make that go, or just use it to escape with, right? You could probably also go Tiger Eye Brew. I haven't tested it in Dragonflight yet, but it had a place in Shadowlands, I think. So you could also try to swap it with that. And yeah, I don't think that there's a lot more to say about these talents. I think we just move on to the Faeline Stomp build. Alright, the Faeline Stomp Blackout Kick build. This is just a funny, goofy, beachy build that I made, and it has a lot of modifiers, so I'll try to explain it as best as I can. But of course, Blackout Kick, you want to get Hardened Souls and Shadowboxing Threats. You want to be taking Serenity this time, and I'll explain why later. It has 15% increased damage with the Faeline Stomp, which is 8% more, so that's 23%. But you also take it because you're able to use all your chi spending abilities as much as you want. Comparing this with the teachings of the monastery, this was a Mistweaver talent only, but Windwalkers apparently got it now, which is pretty funny. And you can use this to reset the cooldown of Rising Sun Kick. And since in Serenity you are able to spam your abilities, you're able to get a lot of Rising Sun Kicks out, which is pretty funny. You also want to be using the Swen's battle gear for this, because we want to cancel our Fist of Fury, right? So we use Fist of Fury, but quickly cancel it, so we get the buff for the 40% critical chance increase. We also want to be using Skyreach for 50% increase critical strike chance. Alright, so with all of these modifiers, this is doing insane damage. So you pop Serenity, you want to use Fist of Fury for the extra crit. You Tiger Palm, and then you just spam Blackout Kicks, right? But you wanna be using your Rising Sun Kick on cooldown. But this resets really fast, because this talent also reduces the cooldown of Fist of Fury when you're Rising Sun Kick, right? So I think after probably 2 or 3 Rising Sun Kicks, you can Fist of Fury again and get the crit buff again. And since we are using Drinking Horn cover, and every time we're using a chi spending ability, you also get duration on it, right? So it just keeps adding up and adding up and adding up. This build is pretty funny and a little goofy, right? But I highly recommend you guys try this in BGs. I will be, of course, linking this build in the description so you can copy it and play around with it. But yeah, I just wanted to show it because I think it's a pretty funny build. So yeah. So I think I forgot to mention at the start of the video that I actually wanted to like show my gear, stats, enchants, gems, you know, all that good stuff, so you have an idea of what I'm using and what I'm stacking. So as for stats, I am just stacking Verse, then Mastery, then Crit. So Verse, Mastery, Crit. Pretty standard. For the gems, I only have one gem right now. It's just this one. It was just the highest gem that I found. I can show you what it's called, I think. Yes, this one just has high Verse and a little bit of Mastery, which is pretty cool. And for enchants, I'm just using the speed enchants. I have seen people use avoidance, but I don't know what's the best. I'm just using speed because I like it. That's it. As for gear, I am just using the standard PvP gear you buy from the vendor for Honor. I am trying to acquire 4-piece set of Drake Breakers. And as you can see for the 4 set, I will get a shield when I'm stunned. Windwalkers are very squishy if they get caught in a stun, so having this shield will really help out a lot, and I think it has more value than the 3 item level upgrade the other PvP gear has, right? So this is 411, but this is 408. I do believe that it will have a higher value. And I am using an emblem. I have been using this, I don't know, all the time, and all the other expansions as well. I really just like the maximum health. It's just another good button to have if you're close to dying, right? So I think that was it for the gear. I will be going over the rotations now, so you'll have an idea of how a basic rotation for this build will look like. Alright, for this first rotation, you are gonna wanna do this. First, you pop XP Harm to get 2 cheese, so you have more cheese to work with in the fight. So we pop that, right? Then you wanna paralyze into Bonedust Brew, Storm, Earth and Fire, Stun, Tiger Palm, Strike of the Windlord, Rising Sun Kick, Fist of Fury, and end it with a Whirling Dragon Punch, right? So it's gonna look like this. Alright, this is the second part of the rotation. This time we got the Swin involved, and I'm just gonna quickly explain what you wanna do with this rotation, and then I will be showing you the rotation in action, right? So what you wanna do is, let's say you wanna kill this target. This is your main target, this is the DPS, and let's say that this is the healer, the PvP training dummy. What you wanna do here is, let's say you have been fighting for, I don't know, like 15-20 seconds, and you now have full chi and you are ready to do your go. As you're running towards the healer to paralyze him, you want to pop Swim. Then you wanna pop your Tiger Palm to get back to them, because Sky Reach gives it a 10-yard range now. So you will dash fastly back to them. Then you want to stun, and then pop Bonedust Brew and Storm, Earth and Fire, and then just your normal rotation with Strike of the Windlord, Rising Sun Kick, Fist of Fury, Whirlwind Dragon Punch. But by that time they probably should be dead unless they pre-pop something, right? So I will just quickly show you what it looks like. Yeah, this is what it looks like. This is not a PvP dummy, so that's why the stun only lasts 3 seconds. So just keep that in mind. It do last longer. But yeah, that is the second rotation. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you want to see more. I will be making more content here in Dragonflight, so please stay tuned for that. If there's anything in this guide that you are still in the dark about, like you didn't understand or anything, please just write me a comment. I will try to answer it as quickly as possible. But yeah, thank you so much. Take care.